Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, hump day, which means it is officially time for Boob Tube. But of course, it isn't Boob Tube without my lovely co hosts, Casey Carter and Desiree Desirable Bottom. Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Hi.
what's going
Hi.
on? And shout out to our number one super fan. Hey, Jason.
Whoop, whoop.
Jason, we haven't seen you for a minute. Where you been at?
Uh,
Hiding out?
I'm getting my Exotica tickets. I love it, Jason. Love that. Love that. We're looking forward to seeing you. Okay, Kari, what
Yeah.
you doing?
I before we get started, I just want to say if you haven't seen the 50 Cent Super Bowl commercial, look it up on YouTube. It is hilarious. It is hilarious. Hey, Zany. Ooh, look at our peoples are back. They're like, ooh, yeah. Oh, you know why we haven't seen them? Because we've
YouTube.
been
Mm-hmm.
in jail.
Mm-hmm. It's all right.
Yeah.
We
We're
out.
finally out on work release.
We're out. We're out. That part. That part. And that's okay. But you know what though? Think about it, Carrie. Our diehards, they found us on X.
They
Mm-hmm.
did. Whitney, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, Whitney will find you anywhere. Like I
In
said,
a cave.
that man,
In a cave.
you could have a yard sale on the moon and he would pull up in a DeLorean.
so
Like,
so
hey,
J- Jason says that you because we talked Jason says he's coming to Exotica. He said he hasn't been in 2 years because he bought his house. And again, Jason, that is probably the best excuse for why you didn't come to
it sure is.
so
That's
yeah.
great news. I love to hear about people that are, you know, taking on home ownership. And it brings on I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. It brings on another topic that you don't have to own a home to be successful. Like renting is not a problem, but there's nothing like getting the keys to a house
Mm-hmm.
that is all
Facts.
yours.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
So
W.
yeah, how's your week been? I was talking about when we were in the green room about how people just seem to be crashing out and acting a fool a little bit more than normal, but I do have some good news. We are 58 days away from Exotica Chicago.
Woo-hoo!
A
Yeah.
little less than 2 months away from our first 2026 show in the amazing, wonderful Chicago. And I have some big news coming in the next couple of weeks. I can't share it just yet. It's in its final organization stages, but the
Under
contract's
wraps.
been signed. I got something real big happening in May, also
Ooh.
Okay.
in Chicago.
Okay.
So Chicago's been loving on me lately. So, and I'm not gonna say no.
Okay.
So Miami's getting a little break for a minute. I'm going back. And
Okay.
to be honest with you, when I was in the process of booking my or not booking, but like rescheduling my flight when it got canceled in Vegas, I was like, "Can I just like make a little pit stop in Miami for a couple days? Like
Mhm.
it's 80 degrees there. Can we just like bypass Baltimore for a minute and go to Miami?" And they were like,
Nah.
wah, wah, wah.
Sorry, ma'am. Not gonna
They
do
were
it.
like, whammy, no whammy." Mm. I wish we could get like a little whammy, the whammies on here. So when somebody says something crazy, we could just throw the whammies up.
That'd be
I love
dope.
it.
We'll have to work on that. Desiree, that's your assignment. Tell me where I can just find me something.
Okay.
Find
I'm
me.
For
on it.
Ecam,
Yeah.
I'm
we
on the
got it.
case.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Desiree and the stuff Desiree be finding, which is why I immediately Desiree, because we lost our previous researchers, and I'm still mad about that. But Desiree,
Alex and Axel.
right? Desiree, you shared a couple of things in our group chat. If you would share that, and because I didn't get a chance to download the image, but um,
Let's see if I think I could
Oh,
bring it up.
Well, I shared something too.
Wait, hold on. My stuff is trying to fall
Hold
down.
on, let me pull it up for you, and I'll put it on the screen.
There we go. Yeah. Halle Berry.
Oh, okay. Yep, I did. I missed that. That's my bad. That was from Monday because I just looked at Desi's right there. But
If
okay,
those of you that have been for us a while, then you know
I was like,
we
that is.
Halle Berry is our official mascot.
I'm not even gonna say mascot. That is all our girlfriends.
Yep.
We all
She's our spirit animal,
we are
I
in
guess.
we are in
Spirit
a
woman.
situationship with Holly Berry.
So apparently we're in a polyamorous situationship now because
Ooh.
he is putting a ring on it
Oh,
and making it official. So congratulations to Halle Berry on her recent engagement. And I feel like this is the one. I feel like this is the right
I
one.
think so
So
because you know what? They first of all they've been in a relationship for quite a while.
mhm.
And the one thing I will say is when you see her on social and she's talking about this man, she has that look. Like there's always stars in her eyes and birds
Mhm.
twinkling over her head and he absolutely positively romances her. Absolutely positively romances her. So I've always dug on this relationship. I feel like it is, it's the adult relationship she's always needed. Um,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
I love that he's putting a ring on it. But they are, and she's so all the way out there, and he's out there because he's a musician, but he's still somewhat reserved. So she has that private sort of part of him.
Right.
Like it's like he creates that private space, even though he's
Right.
a public figure too. He creates private space for her, and
But
so
he lets her be the star.
right,
He has no
Right.
problem with letting her take front and center. He's so secure in his manhood that he lets her take front and center instead of trying to compete with her, which is I feel
mm-hmm.
like what happened with Eric Benet and
All of
David
them
Jeter.
justice.
Yeah, it just
It
seemed
was
like they
justice.
were always trying to compete to be bigger, better. And I feel like they used her as a stepping stone. You know what I mean? Like they
Mm.
stepped on her notoriety and fame. I mean, obviously she's a trophy, and I don't feel like they valued her as a woman. But the one thing I will say about this guy that I think really sets him apart is he is surviving her menopause. And not only is
Right.
he surviving, but
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm gonna
I agree.
marry you even though you're batshit fucking crazy out here promoting this menopause lube." Like, and most men would be like, "This is weird," but he's like, "Nah." I think, and I also feel like to me, it feels like she's at her most authentic self. I feel like a lot of her was unsure who she was because she was this person in Hollywood with this multicultural ethnic background that some people want to identify you as this and other people want to identify you as that. Because I was listening to one of the podcasts that she was on, and she was like, early on, that was a huge struggle for her. But then she just got to this point where she was like, fuck it, I'm black, leave me alone. I'm gonna do what I do. And she's obviously overcome amazing unnecessary hurdles, but she's overcome them, which makes it even better. And another couple of people that have been on the same podcast that said the same thing was Angela Bassett, and what's the one that played in How to Get Away with the Murder?
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. Yeah, they said the same thing. Like, yeah, shit's messed up, but when you overcome it, it just gives you like that much more gratification and that much more of a like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Well,
congratulations, Halle Berry.
and
Um,
I
although you won't be taking us on the honeymoon.
I was gonna
Mm.
say, and let me just for the sake of like, as a black woman, we carry the weight of the world, and
Agreed.
Holly Berry, that is, has carried the weight of all of the jacked up relationships that she survived. I mean, because at some point, folks were like, "Well, it can't be them. It's got to be her. She's got to be the problem. She's the common
Yeah, I heard
denominator in
that.
all of these bad relationships."
Mm-hmm.
But I had one time said to my ex husband when he used to call his ex wife crazy, I'm like, Yeah, but what did you contribute to her crazy? Right? Like
Right.
some part of you had to have contributed to that.
Yep.
And I definitely, like I said, I feel like this relationship has sort of grounded her. I love following her on social because you see
Same.
her in all sorts of situations. Like I love seeing the boozy Holly Berry talking shit, acting goofy and crazy and all of that. And I love the menopause Holly Berry. And
Yep.
I'm real with you. Van better like that shit because you know why? That means he getting it.
I like that. I feel like Hallie is stepping into her I just am who I am. Like one of the things she said in the podcast was that she's always felt like she had to be like talk this way or talk
Right.
that way or try to be proper because and now she's like I cuss when I want to cuss. I say what I want to say. I'm not
Unapologetically.
unapologetically. And for me, it is honestly the blueprint to peace, love, and happiness. When
Mm-hmm.
you just let go of all of that crap. Because she was talking one of the stories she was talking about is, she went to some kind of, like, premiere. It was like a low budget premiere, and she's like, "I stepped out of my dirty garden sneakers." Like, they weren't dirty, dirty, but she was like, "I didn't put on, like, the high-end stuff." She was like, "They were just normal, everyday sneakers." She's like, "I put on some yoga pants and, whatever." And she was like, "It wasn't like a big major premiere. It was like a book reading or like, a low-end Hollywood thing." But when people are in Hollywood, they step into these things and everything is like a five-star production. And they come out in these like Louis Vuitton and Gucci. And she was like, "I don't care." She was like, "I wore my Target shirt, my Target leggings, and some sneakers and called it a day."
Love it.
And she was like, people were complimenting her and she was like, "But the biggest thing is I was comfortable." And she's like, "I was going to the gym afterwards." So I just killed two birds with one stone. And like
Yep.
for me, to hear that from a major celebrity that I've been a fan of for a really long time just really almost felt like I was getting permission for myself to be myself. You know what I mean? Like that message that it's hard in Hollywood. And maybe I don't have
Harder.
celebrity status, but being in front of the camera
It's harder.
and being a online personality, I to some degree understand being on. 'Cause that's why I disappear for months at a time. The only thing that I've stayed steady and committed to is Boob too.
So let me jump on that bandwagon and answer a question at the same time because Jay Sloan asked, "Why do you feel that Black women carry the weight of the world?" And putting it simply, we we have to sort of um, put to the back burner what we're going through, what we're feeling, how we're feeling, in order to take care of family, in order to take care of partner, in order to take care of someone else's family, someone else's situation, someone else's everything. Um, long time ago, I'm sorry, I say that because I'm older than I look. But many years ago, when there was all this talk of the glass ceiling and women not being paid the same amount of money as men, when they would have this hierarchy in the corporate world of white men, black men, white women, black women were always at the bottom of that list, and yet we were expected to do everything.
Mm.
So when I make that statement, Jay, like I say it from a historical perspective, but even in today's environment, there's a lot that's expected of Black women, whether it's overtly or subvertly, that we are expected to be everything for everyone else. And it never really provides enough time for us to be something for ourselves or to be
Mm.
that for ourselves on a consistent basis. We have to always sort of subjugate ourselves. And so, to Kari's point about Holly and the things that she said about being where she's at right now, Holly is slightly older than I am. And I will tell you, it is a mentality to be at a certain age. And not celebrity, right? But I've had a lot of time in corporate America and business in general. And so, while Kari makes that description of what it's like to be have a celebrity status in the arena that we exist in, even on a corporate side, you feel you have to be on, and you do have to always be appropriate. You can't offend anybody.
Politically correct.
You got to please everybody. And to her point about why she disappears, this is why you do have to sometimes go dark, if you will, be silent. And it's not because you have nothing to say, it's because you just need a break. You right? Like
So, sometimes you have too much to say.
right,
And it's
all
not the
right.
kind of stuff that people are going to be like, right on, girl. It's the kind of stuff that you'll be attacked for,
Yep.
maybe canceled.
Yep. Right, right.
Sometimes you just want to tell someone to fuck off.
And you can't, right? You can't.
Right.
And so yeah. And so I appreciate the question, Jay, because I think while I did make it specific to Black women, it is a female issue as a whole. It's just Black women experience it a little different. And you are right. At the end of the day, we do make the choice. We can make the choice to do what's best for us. We don't always do that. And Kari and I, being women of a certain age, you when you get to that place in life, like Holly Berry, you say to yourself, you know what? Fuck it. It's all about me right now. I done did shit for you for all these years. It's all about me right now. And I used to tell myself it's a selfish train of thought. But you know what? When you get to 50 and over 50, you tell yourself, nope, it ain't even selfish. It's self preservation, is what that is. So, yeah. And thank you, Jay, for joining the show and joining, asking questions for this conversation. I appreciate that.
That's a profound question. And I feel like we're reaching a space where people trust that they can ask those things and not get ridiculed or
Mhm.
feel, ostracized because, everyone lives in a different environment. I've been blessed to be exposed to various cultures. And so I may have just a tiny slight bit more of understanding to certain things, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion can I claim to know more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't I don't claim that I can understand what other people are going through. Like, I don't know what men go through, okay? I don't carry around a D and balls and I don't have those things. I can't tell you what it's like to whip it out. I don't know what it's like to get a boner
Oh,
out of
walk around with
nowhere.
it. Just walk around with it. Sit down with it.
I
Like,
will say I'm jealous. I would love to be able to take a bottle in my car and just whip it out and pee. When I gotta go pee, I have to find a toilet. You know what I'm saying?
you
I've
see,
been in situations where
apple bottle works
they're
real
just like,
good. Mhm.
take the bottle and, and I'm like, damn,
You got to have
I
the
got
right
it. And
opening on your bottle. The right size opening on your bottle is
mm,
all
listen,
about.
I had a Slurpee cup. It has a very big opening.
And you still missed?
It's hard to pop a squat in the back of a car and make it.
Okay, so then let me
Anyways,
say this. Let me say this to that. I grew up in New York. We had family in Virginia. My great grandfather would drive straight from New York to Virginia. If you had to go to the bathroom and you didn't go to the bathroom at the gas break, he'd pull over to the side of the road and you had to pop a squat. Let me tell you
Woo.
something. I may not have Megan knees, but baby, I can pop that squat and pee wherever you tell me I gotta pee. And I'm just saying, I'm just okay, but that's not why y'all are here. And thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
well,
So
we have other news. Go ahead, Desiree.
Thank you.
yeah,
Oh,
so
oh,
on
that,
yeah,
yeah.
the grok thing. So there's a lot of controversy with the groks because a lot of people are doing like different photos and stuff. But we're gonna talk about this photo because it's got Halle Berry in it
That's our
too.
girlfriend. Yes.
So it said remove the best Catwoman, and Grok ended up removing Halle Berry. Whoops, sorry. But yeah, they ended up removing her, so she is the best Catwoman.
I'd have
Meanwhile,
to agree.
meanwhile removing her created like World War III over Catwoman.
Sure
Yeah.
did. Sure did. People
And
Y'all
That's
have a
what's so
favorite?
funny to
Let
me.
us know in the comments.
yes,
People
Get Halle
were
Berry.
arguing to the death.
and what's funny is the ladies they chose for Catwoman, Halle Berry, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Anne
Sharon
Hathaway.
Stone.
Those are the most recent Catwomen, not including Zoe Kravitz, right? But when I was looking at that, I was happy for Holly. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, hold on. If I actually had to pick, I'd probably pick Eartha Kitt. So as I was scrolling through the comments, you saw some folks made mention of the TV Catwomen.
Ooh.
And I was like, yep, see, there you go. We forget there are more than those three. And so, they had, like, I think Holly Berry probably sort of had what's her face in mind. I just lost her name, but anyway, yeah, that was a thing. But Desiree, the thing I wanted you to mention was about
Jason Momoa?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it says for democracy, Jason Momoa is set to save Super Earth in the upcoming Helldivers movie from Fast and Furious director Justin Lin. So we're all huge fans of Fast and Furious too. So Helldivers, if you guys don't know about it, it's a video game. I'm just gonna tell you about it right now. So that's what it is, and it's all about democracy and liberty and all this stuff. So you're like this you have like a helmet. It's kind of like stormtroopers, right? So you have this helmet on with a cape and you have a gun and you're shooting all these aliens and stuff, and you got to go to like different planets and like neutralize. That's what it is pretty much. So they're all infested with all this bugs or whatever, and you have to go to each planet. Like it's like a network of planets. It's crazy.
So okay, so this is based off of a video game, and they're making this a movie. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, all right. Now listen.
Moment of silence.
We talk about Halle Berry being our girlfriend. I'm going to speak on behalf of myself right now. Jason Momoa is my boyfriend.
You can include me too.
Okay, we are sharing. Okay, I'm just checking. I know where Holly stands. I just had to double check on Jason. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
speaking of Jason Momoa. Oh wait. Before we get to
go
Jason.
all right. So Desiree, go to the next thing.
Okay, and then so James Vanderbeek, star of Dawson's Creek, Varsity Blues, and Don't Trust B. In Apartment 23 has died. Yeah, sorry about that. At 48 after a battle with cancer. So rest in peace, James Vanderbeek. I know him from Dawson's Creek because I used to watch.
Yeah, that was the most popular thing he was in.
And you know it's crazy because I initially looked at the picture that you showed and saw his name underneath and was like, are we doing a movie? And then I went up to read it and was like, oh, okay. So this clearly was taken during the phases of being sick, because I'm like, he doesn't look like
the same.
Yeah, it threw me off with the mustache.
Like, when Boseman did one of his last movies, and he was so thin that the suit they put him in really belonged to some other dude because it was way too big. So yeah.
And his video, like, he's got a video that's kind of like going viral now. Like, he was talking about like being a father, being a husband to his wife, being a family man. Like, if you get time, watch the video. I think it's really like heartwarming. And he just said like being appreciative of all those things, like being an actor, like just being called, like having the title of an actor, and then all this other stuff like happening to him, and then your world gets turned upside down with cancer. You know what I mean? It's really like, it was really touching. I really like his video, like got to me. It was very heartwarming.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something that may seem morbid, and I apologize if it if it comes across that way to anyone. But you ever notice how it seems like everybody passes away December, January every year? It seems like,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, maybe it's just because it's end of year, beginning of year that it seems that way. But it just seems
It's
like
ironic.
in that window of time, a million people died. Granted, a million people probably did die in that time. But I'm saying from a celebrity perspective, it's
Mm-hmm.
like boom, 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 boom. And you're like, oh my God, oh my God. And then, you get the whole list of people who have died over the year or whatever. But that, when I saw that, I was like, wow. I personally, because of, and hey Jay, I'll be 57 this year too. But because of my age, and I've had so many people that I personally grew up with pass away when we were in our 40s, it's a little unnerving for me when I see anyone anywhere around my age or younger pass away. Especially because like the three of the guys that I know who passed, one passed from cancer, another had sickle cell, another one I think had leukemia or whatever. And I'm like, it makes you very, very conscious of your
Mm-hmm.
mortality, and that
Yes.
it is not a
Yep.
like you are not guaranteed to die of old age. And the irony of that for me is, generationally speaking, I have my mother's mother and her three siblings. My great grandparents have four kids. All four of these people are alive. The oldest is like 96, 95, something like that. So I have to tell myself, genetically you are predisposed to living a long life. And then at the same time I'm like, but you've got so many friends who didn't make it to where you are today. So be realistic about all of that. So yeah, man, enjoy enjoy your life to
Mm-hmm.
the fullest, in as much as you can, whenever you can, and more importantly, enjoy the people in your life.
Facts. Yep.
Okay, okay. Maybe we should talk about
Agreed.
TV shows and movies right now, because now we're good.
Yeah, we spent 30 minutes talking about marriages, death, and all kinds of stuff. And since we just mentioned Jason Momoa,
Mm.
this wasn't at the
Woo.
top of my list, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up anyways, since we can always talk about Jason in our polyamorous Halle Berry Jason
Situation.
Momoa situationship. But the Wrecking Crew,
Yes.
I mentioned it a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
which stars Jason Momoa and Batista, the wrestler, and they play brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it,
I'm not.
but
I'm
I
still not
did.
sure I liked it. I'm still not sure I liked it. I just like.
Eh,
I like them.
it was definitely eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
That's for certain. But it was action packed. It was okay. It
Mm-hmm.
was a little.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Corny.
it was nice. It was, you know,
I've seen worse. I've seen
yeah.
worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you what I liked about it, Carrie. I know this is your movie, and I apologize. I just jumped in on you.
No, go for it.
This is what I liked about it, because I did think it was very corny, but I have a thing for Jason Momoa, so it was okay. But
And
here's
Batista.
right, but so that's my point. Here's what I liked about it. I liked their chemistry.
Yes.
And I think that's why I liked the movie. I also like it when Jason plays a character that's a little off. He does that very
Yes.
well. He does that
I
very
think that's probably his, like, actual personality.
well. Okay, so
But what
but
it
no,
struck
no,
me
go
to
ahead.
ask a question, I wanna know why him and Lisa Bonet broke up, but go ahead, I apologize.
Oh no. Okay, so here's, according to what I heard, they got to a point where they were going in different directions, because she is older than him,
And
right?
very private.
And very private. He, at the point that they separated, his his um his career is doing this, right? And she has long ago sort of faded to the background. So I think there were just things he wanted that she didn't want, and I think that was okay because I always liked them together, and
Love them together.
I think it was okay for them to go different ways. And to your question about whether or not the goofy, the crazy, the whatever is his personality. So on HBO, he did this show where it was about motorcycles because he is genuinely a motorcycle aficionado. And when it comes to because in this movie he does ride. So when it comes to the motorcycles, he is no joke about these motorcycles. Like he in the show he did on HBO, he traveled around the country to experience different classics, different hard to find, different people who ride, different bikes, different people who have clubs, people whose expertise is in the maintenance and creation of these bikes. And so you see him from a different perspective because in that he literally produced those programs, created those programs, hosted those programs. And when you listen to him talk, he talks from this place of true understanding, not just, oh, I like to ride bikes. Like he knows historical information about bikes and time periods and all of that. So while we see this goofy version of him, both in Fast and Furious, Wrecking Crew, and some other things where he's been goofy, when he is when he is on like on his serious kick, he is just as attractive as he is just from a
Yeah.
physical standpoint.
Mhm.
The knowledge he has and how deep that knowledge is sexy as fuck. Dude ain't no joke. Like he doesn't just do stuff because he's got the money to do stuff. He does it from a place of passion and
And purpose.
and right and true understanding.
Yeah.
So I know I'm saying like my boyfriend, but like no, gen
Our
sorry,
boyfriend.
my bad, our boyfriend. But he genuinely brings something to the table beyond good looks. Mm-hmm.
Mm. I feel like, and I don't want to talk too much about why they broke up, but I mean, I just feel like he's kind of a wanderer and she's very much a stay at
Homebody.
home.
Mm-hmm.
He's ready to spend all this money that he's making. She's a very simple kind of, frugal person. She's not like buying Fendi and Gucci, and he's not a big Fendi Gucci kind of person either, but I think
He
he's
spent
enjoying the
that money on
limelight.
bikes.
He's enjoying the money
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to do something with it. He doesn't want to sit on a herbal farm and
No,
meditate all
but
day.
and again, going back to the fact that they are different in different age, right?
Yes, she's
So
settled.
she's got a grown ass child while he is
Beautiful.
yeah. Yeah, her and Lenny did that damn thing right there. They did that.
I
But
think I also had like a thing for their like trio. Like I thought it was so cool that
yes.
that
Yes.
Lenny was friends with Jason and like
They were
I
cool.
mean, you got to give power to Lisa. Like she created an environment where they could all co-parent, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie, that would be I would love to be the unicorn in that scenario.
I'll 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 be the nanny.
I would love to be in between Lenny, Jason, and Lisa, like, and add
Okay.
Hallie.
Oh, oh.
Woo!
Let us
I don't
change
know.
the subject.
I
Let
think I
us
would,
change the
yeah,
subject.
I would go into convulsions. I'd be like, like,
Let
no
us.
one's touched you yet. What's going on over there?
It's anticipation. That's the sexiest thing is anticipation.
What do I do
Okay.
first?
All right. Anyway. All right. Here's what I want to talk about. I have these moments where um Netflix brings on a whole bunch of programming, right?
Right.
And oftentimes it's things that have been out previously, things that I've already watched. And I put them on to be more like background than something new that I want to observe. So I did that this past weekend as I was cleaning the house and doing laundry and stuff. I put on Suits. I don't know if you all remember
Mm-hmm.
Suits. Suits was
Mm-hmm.
about these two lawyers. Well, at least one of them was an actual lawyer. This one guy was an actual lawyer. The other guy was faking like he was a lawyer. And um and they were the main characters. Okay? It was about these two guys. That is what I remember when I used to watch it on USA Network. Now, and for those of you who are like, Suits, what? Okay, if you know who Meghan Markle is, that's the show
Yes.
she was on. So that there you go. All right, that's your point of reference. The other female character of any significance on this show is Gina Torres, I believe is her name. She is I just blanked on him. She is what's his face's ex-wife. Um, Help me out, y'all. The Matrix.
Keanu Reeves.
No, not his ex-wife.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne's ex-wife. Yes.
Hmm.
Very beautiful woman. Very, very beautiful woman. And one of the main characters, Harvey, he's got this secretary, um, beautiful redhead, whatever, right? So here's what I realized watching this program for the second time. Where I originally thought it was about the two guys, that shit was about the women. This program is filled with women characters, strong women characters. Jessica Pearson, which is Lawrence Fishburne's wife, she was the primary partner in this law firm, and she ran the show. Like Harvey and what's his face did what they did, but they did it with her knowing or not knowing. And when she didn't know, she made sure to cover because it was her name first in this law firm. Every woman, if you watch that show now, I want you to pay attention. Those two characters, the men in this show, everything they do is actually supported, manipulated, or brought upon by one of the female characters. And there are many, many female characters. There's at some point in the series, they bring in this older black woman who was also badass and boss. I mean, I have such a different perspective of this program than when I first watched it. And so this is what I say to you. For those of you who watched Suits back in the day, and for those of you who are watching it for the first time now on Netflix, or was like, I'm not watching that I don't know. Watch it and see if I'm not right. That even though the men are the main characters, the women really have all the power in this program. All the power. Just saying.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Desi.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. I got to see the new Silent Hill movie in theaters.
Oh.
It's gonna be on It's gonna be on Amazon Prime. So Silent Hill is a video game too that they made into a movie.
Okay. And what is the video?
There's like past ones. I didn't really watch the past movies, so I guess you don't really have to watch them to keep up or anything. But I don't know, because that's what I was a little bit concerned about. I was like, should you watch like the past movies to like catch up or anything? But I don't think so.
Tell me what the video game is about.
So there's this guy. You're this guy named James Sutherland. And well, I haven't played the video game myself, but okay. It's like a horror themed genre video game. So you're playing this guy, and there's like all of these different, like they look like mannequins that are like possessed, and they like chase after you. There's like some of them have no arms. It's just like weird creatures, right? Like weird spirits or creatures or. That come after you. And then there's Pyramid Head, he's like kind of like one of like the main bosses. So he's got like this pyramid style thing on his head with an apron, and it's like all bloody, and he's got like this huge knife, and then he like goes around killing people, right? So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I will tell you like about the movie because I found this to be really intriguing. So if you Google the video game or like you'll understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, Return to Silent Hill is a supernatural psychological horror film directed by Christoph Gaines and released in 2026. So James Sutherland, played by Jeremy Irvine, is an emotionally shattered painter haunted by the death of his girlfriend Mary Crane. So this is like they end up meeting. He ends up like taking off from Silent Hill, which is like the scary town or the scary place. Okay. So Mary Crane ends up like living there, and she wants to take off too. Not he doesn't know this when he like meets her, because they just end up like meeting like at a bus stop or something. Like it was like kind of like a fluke, okay? So they end up meeting together. He like runs over her luggage or something and her clothes pop out, okay? So he's like, "Oh, well, like I'm not an asshole." He's like, "I'll like stop and I'll help her pick up her belongings and ask where she's going and stuff." And she's like, "I'm trying to get out of here. Like I'm trying to run away from like not knowing at the time, but she's running away from like the demons, like her, the inside and stuff that's going on, right?" So I'm like, okay. So it keeps going on and on. He helps her, and then she's like, like he's like, "Are you going anywhere?" And then she's like, "No, like let's go back to Silent Hill." And then they end up going together to like this building, and then so there's like a hospital and stuff. It's like a psych ward, I guess, for better lack of terms.
Sanitarium.
There we go. Thank you. So yeah, one day he receives a mysterious letter from Mary telling him to come back to Silent Hill, a fog-shrouded, cursed town filled with eerie creatures and shifting realities. James travels back to town where he descends into a nightmarish alternate reality as he wanders through the streets choked with mist and ash. He confronts grotesque monsters, warped environments, and unsettling hallucinations, and reflects his own guilt, grief, and inner demons. Along the way, he meets figures connected to his past, including multiple versions of Mary and other unsettling characters, forcing him to face the truth about his loss and what really happened. So this Mary, she ends up being dead. There's like a lady who's trying to help him, like he's like she's like, "No, he's like she's dead, James, like get out of it." But he's so like intertwined in this. It's kind of like when you have a how do you say it, like you don't want to believe they're dead, like you don't want to let go. It's kind of like that. So you're just so intertwined and entrapped in just not being able to let go, I guess. So it's interesting. I thought it was a great movie. It's going to come out, I think, on Amazon Prime. Okay. And like I said, you don't have to watch the other ones to understand it or check it out. If it's something you're interested in, I would say give it a shot, give it a go. It had bad reviews. Not a lot of people like it. I know it was talked about on like socials that it was kind of tanked. Like people, I don't know, I think they expected more. But I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest. I didn't think,
Okay.
So.
Okay. Kari, before I forget, you and I were having this conversation about crop top hoodies. Can we give them a moment of our crop tops? Start with yours, Kari.
Do it.
Sure. I would love to show my crop top. You can buy one too. I heart BBW.com.
Get yours today.
Get yours today and let your belly show. Show it off. Okay, your turn.
Okay. All right. So I actually have a T-shirt on under mine, but so it started because we always say we have these green room moments where we get together before the show and we chit chat and whatever. So This is mine. This is, hold on.
So lick it, so it's mine.
I licked
I
it.
licked it, so it's mine. Okay,
Mine.
got you,
So yeah.
girl.
And this is a vendor who comes to Exotica
Nice.
called the Champagne Room. And I was telling Kari, I normally from this vendor I'm buying I'm
Other
normally
things.
I'm normally buying thongs from this vendor because I like the way the thongs are made. The irony is I don't really like underwear. So they're just
Yeah, when she
piled
told
up.
me that, I was like, okay.
They're just piled up in a drawer in my bedroom. But they say things like I don't know. I forget what they say. You know what? I'll bring them next week. I'll show you next week what they say. But I just like the way what they're made from, the fabric that they're made with. Because if you wear a thong, and I don't care, and I'm gonna want to be very clear about this. I don't care if you're skinny as fuck, fat as fuck. I don't care if you are a fitness guru. Thongs are not always comfortable. Am I wrong?
Facts.
Right.
No,
They're
facts.
not
Preach.
always comfortable. So I buy these thongs mainly because they're made of some fabric that's really, really comfortable. And the other reason is because when you're at Exotica, because I don't like underwear, when you're at Exotica, you have to have the good stuff covered. And so I'm often buying thongs because I forgot to pack them. So
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Oh, I forgot that I have had them and I don't know where they're at right now. But speaking of having to buy things at Exotica, the other thing that you have to buy is pasties. So there is
yes.
now a pasty vendor, and I bought Star Wars pasties. So I've
Okay.
got Darth
Is it
Vader and
is
Stormtroopers.
is it the girl?
Cool.
The BLC or whatever her name is. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
girl.
She's got the absolute best pasties. And I
Best
don't,
pasties ever, and they're affordable.
yes. They
I think I
from what
got like 2 custom ones for 30.
So, like when Kari talks about the Star Wars, the Stormtroopers, like her whole situation, I got pictures. I'll bring the pictures to the show next week. Her whole situation, like think of a show, a cartoon character or whatever, and she's got it in a pasty. And I mean, just literally the best pasties. And I don't even wear pasties, but I loved her stuff. And the other thing, for those of us girls with extra big areolas who can't wear some of your traditional sized pasties, because her stuff is so unique, a lot of her stuff, the pasties are bigger than normal. So if you've
Yeah.
got a large, if you've got large areolas, you're going to find the proper coverage. Because like I know there was somewhere I was at, I had to put 2 pasties on each side.
Yeah.
So
I have that problem also. Very much so.
anyway,
So one of the things I went to buy pasties, there was another vendor and they didn't only have pasties, but they had some pasties and they were super, super pretty. They had like crystals and stuff and they wanted $60 for a pair of pasties that you may only wear one time. And I was like, I don't
Damn.
have outfits that are $60 that I'm only going to wear one time. So absolutely not. They were pretty, but not that pretty.
and I have. It's funny you say that, Kari, because I have some pasties like that. I thought they were in my desk drawer here. They're not. But I have pasties like that are all sparkly and glittery and whatever. And I've never worn them because they don't cover everything.
Yeah. Well, next week we'll bring them to show and tell.
Yes, we'll have show and tell next week. Thank you. I love that.
Okay. Well, we have time for a couple more.
Okay.
I don't know where to start because I have 3 really good ones. So I'm gonna go with my documentary because I was really surprised. So I watched the Judd's documentary, and I did not know that the mother had passed, and I did not know that she committed suicide. So
well,
it was a very emotional documentary. Naomi talks about her troubled relationship with her mother because there was the fight for, you know, not necessarily to be the star, but the mom wanted so desperately, not Naomi, that was the mom, Winona,
Winona.
how they, she just wanted to sing. Like, she didn't
Mm-hmm.
care about the fame, and, people picked on her about her weight, and, she had all of these struggles, and she just wanted to sing. That was it. She just enjoyed singing. But the mom, in order for her to have her fame, even though she sung, good and she was really pretty, she kind of always relied on Winona's
Mm.
talents and success. And so it created a lot of friction between them. And, it was an very interesting story, because I love Ashley Judd, and I did love the Judds. And, I don't really listen to Winona now, but, it was interesting to me. And I love documentaries. I love hearing what really happens behind the scenes. And, they're an interesting family with a strange dynamic, so it was a good watch. Definitely a good watch. Very emotional. I'll say that again.
Very emotional.
Very emotional, but it just goes and it dives into, like, the very, tragic history that she had with her, that Naomi had with her family, and just, all of the things that she had to deal with. And and that's what they talk about, like, the things that led up to why she did what she did. And I was, like, surprised, because I was like, I didn't even know she passed. Like,
Right, right.
how did I miss that? And it's been a long time. It's not even something that just happened. So,
Some people get
what?
more press than others.
Yeah, good
Okay.
watch. What you got, Case?
So something my daughter introduced me to, which was oh. Okay, wait. I'm gonna have a 60 seconds. One of the things I did for myself this year was to buy a museum membership to the art museum here in Atlanta called the High Museum. Many
Mhm.
years ago, a girlfriend of mine invited me to something called High Frequency Friday, which is happens the first Friday of the month, at the High Museum. The High Museum turns into a club. There are locations in the museum where there are bars, DJs, lots of dancing. This bitch be packed out, packed out, packed out, packed out, packed out. And so I bought myself a membership. I went to High Frequency Friday this past Friday, took my daughter. She had never gone. When I tell you it was some of the best money I've ever spent to provide myself with some self-care. Oh my God. I can't tell you. Whatever you have to do to invest in your mental well-being, your emotional, your spiritual well-being, I highly recommend it, because I had already gone the week before to see a fashion exhibit at the museum. I did this thing this Friday with my daughter. My membership was upgraded when I went to this thing on Friday. I'm talking dancing from 6 to 10 at night, drinks. We ran into somebody that my daughter works with. She bought us drinks. It was the best fucking experience. Okay. All right. Got that out the way. Just saying. In Atlanta, High Museum. Anyway, the thing on my list is a program on HBO called The Pit. The Pit is about the ER in a Pittsburgh hospital. I can't remember the name of the hospital, but it's a Pittsburgh hospital. And guy's name is on the tip of my tongue. He's from one of the other hospital shows, like ER or something like that. I don't remember nobody's name.
Casey is missing us with details.
Yeah,
She's still dancing at the High.
no, I'm over 50. My brain is fucked. Like
I
I
know. I
remembered.
know.
I probably should have wrote his name down because I remembered it before I gave you the speech about the museum. But what I liked about this program, right, real quick, my daughter is a nurse and she works the emergency room in the level 1 trauma center here in Atlanta. And
Noah Weil.
thank you,
Wiley.
thank
Okay.
you. And she, like I said, she introduced me to the program. And I asked her, is it any good? She said yes. I said, why? She said, because it's actually very accurate to the experience of working in the ER. And what's interesting is the like, as you're watching it, if you've ever watched the TV program 24, where every episode is 1 hour of a day, that's what watching this program is like. You're watching a shift, and you're watching what happens during the course of a shift for these people. These are some fucked up people. They're messed up. But when I tell you what you see them go through and what you see them do while working trauma, it is crazy. It is insane. And I think in Atlanta, Grady Hospital is not the sexiest of the hospitals, but it is the place where you get sent when you are like in dead up trauma, like when you are fucked up. Like, my own child was in a car accident, and that was the hospital that they took her to. And it is definitely a program that, especially thinking about Noah Wiley, he was on other, hospital programs, doctor programs. So when you see him here, this is a lot grittier. This is a lot dirtier, a lot more in your face, sort of speak. And I think that's what I liked about it. Not that she compared it to the reality of her personal experience, but the fact that they didn't make it glamorous. And you see them do good, you see them try to do good and fuck up, and you see them fuck up, period. And so it is quite fascinating to watch. So it's called The Pit, and it's on HBO or Max or whatever they're calling themselves this week. I don't know, but it's good.
Okay, can I do one more quick before we go? Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna talk about Iron Lung Markipliers. I don't know, you guys know Markiplier? He's a YouTuber, like really, really,
Oh,
really
okay.
huge YouTuber.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so he plays a lot of horror games. That's where he got his status from and his YouTube persona from. If you guys don't know his channel, go check it out. He's really funny. Like he does a lot of comedic stuff, but he's primarily known for horror. Anyways, so in the movie, it's Iron Lung. It's based off another video game. I don't know what it is. Is people making uh movies into video games into movies?
It's
I
been
don't know
for a
I
while.
don't know what the trend is, but it's a trend. So he plays a convict named Simon, is given a grim deal. A barely functional submarine called the Iron Lung into a blood-filled ocean of a desolate moon. If he completes the mission, he earns his freedom, but if he fails, someone else will be sent after him. So the submarine is welded shut. Simon cannot see outside of it directly and must rely on a crude camera and limited sensors. As he dives deeper into the red, eerie waters, he encounters bizarre sights, unsettling movements, and hallucinatory experiences that blur the line between reality and madness. And yeah, so again, like him being the not the villain, but
Main
the convicted
character.
felon in the game. Yeah,
Oh,
or
okay.
not in the game, but in the movie, the convicted felon. Anyways, him being there and then having to do all this stuff for them, and then all this stuff happens. So it's kind of like a little bit dry. Like, I don't know. It's not going to be a movie for everybody. I didn't mind watching it. Like, I'm like you, Casey. I kind of like, it was kind of like background noise
Mm-hmm.
when I was watching it, because I was just sitting there and it was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it. Like, it was okay. It wasn't like the best. I wouldn't say go and watch it in movies, because I think it was in selected stuff maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Check it out if you want though. Iron Lung.
So here's
Markiplier.
here's what I had told myself that I wanted to get into. Something that you said, this is what made me remember this. What I want to get into for 2026 Boob 2 is, we talk a lot about the stuff that we like. I actually want to start watching stuff I know I'm not gonna like, just so I could talk about.
But you might, I think we'd be surprised. I think there's things that we probably, which I mean, we're already 1 minute over. So if you'll let me get a second to
No, I was
share
like, wait
one
a minute,
too,
girl, go on ahead. Hmm.
because I did not think I was gonna like it. It was called Roof Man with Channing Tatum, and I was like, this movie looks
Yes.
super stupid.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm watching it, but I was like, forget it. I'll just put it on in the background. And it actually captured my attention
It,
and
it
maintained it.
it's
Then
a
I find out it's based on a real
real
story.
story. Yes.
See?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. My
And
son told me about that story.
I saw the whatever photos they picked just didn't give me the impression it was going to be a good movie. I thought it was going to be like one of those one-off,
Mm-hmm.
just dry humor, and I was like, what? Like, what could possibly come of this movie? And then he's in a roof at Toys R Us, which I did see a Toys R Us at my mall the other day, so hello. Anyways, but I watched it and was like actually enjoying it and was
Yeah.
surprised. Much to
Yeah.
my surprise, what I thought I wasn't going to like, I actually liked, which definitely brings me to your point, Casey. Sometimes we just have to watch things because we make a preconceived opinion about something and we haven't even
Mm-hmm.
attempted
Yeah.
to give it a
Yeah.
shot.
So I make that comment to say I'm actually going to start watching stuff that I don't desire to watch, just so that I can admit either I didn't like it or I did like it and I'm pleasantly surprised. Now, Roof Man, my son had told me about it, and so that is why I did watch it, because he's in law enforcement, and so he the whole story was fascinating to him. And when I watched it, I went watching wanting to watch it. So I came into it with a sort of a different vibe. But I genuinely do want to watch something that I go, this is not some shit I would normally watch, just so I could come tell you about it. So anyway, that's I think
We should
once a
create a wheel.
yeah, I was gonna
And
say
on
once
the
a month.
wheel, we should put a bunch of stuff that's like
Yeah, and so
BCD
we
movies.
and we'll get
Yeah.
assigned to having to watch it. I like that. I
That
like
would
that.
be
Yeah.
dope.
I
Hmm.
like that
Yep. And then we
because
could
I'm
all
like,
come back with like a we could do like Siskel and Ebert, so we'll give it a
yes,
thumbs up or a thumbs down. And then we'll talk about what we liked about it, what we didn't like
like
about
about
it,
it. Yep,
and there
and
you
go from
go.
there.
And go
Ah,
from there. What do you guys think? Do
Real
you guys like
talk.
that idea?
I know, I love it. I don't know about the
Real
rest of
talk.
y'all, but
Hmm.
Would you
I
tune
love
in
it.
for that?
Shit, you tune in for this shit, you might as well.
Right, right. Listening to us just blah 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 for a whole hour.
All right,
But
so that brings us
speaking
to
of
this
a whole
part of the show.
hour,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whoop,
yeah.
whoop.
Now it's time to say goodbye to our boob tube family. Oh, okay.
Whoop,
Yeah, that just
whoop.
Oh, sorry.
went in a whole different direction. So make sure you guys keep it locked and loaded on EXXXOTICA.tv. You can see us on Twitter or YouTube. If we're not on YouTube, check out the Twitter. Just FYI, sometimes we get
Mhm.
put in confinement where we're in trouble. So Twitter, we're there. We're there every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow us on socials and yeah, keep it on BoobTube every Wednesday. Casey Carter, Desiree, myself.
Oh yeah.
But the real show, the lead up, is starting April 10th to the 12th in Chicago, Illinois. For the
Whoop, whoop.
first time, Minneapolis, Minnesota, June 26th to the 28th. Edison, New Jersey, October 23rd to the 25th. And beautiful, wonderful Miami, Florida, December 4th through the 6th. Make sure you go to EXXXOTICA.com. Sign up for Ladies Free Friday for those ladies who want to go and check it out free on Fridays. And if you're interested in selling a product, service, or want to promote your brand, definitely get a sales kit from our wonderful staff and find out what it takes to become a vendor. It is a great experience. Casey and I have been doing it for years. We love it. It's a great time. They have seminars, stage shows, and you just never know what you're going to see at Exotica. It is definitely like going to the fair or the carnival, and or even Mardi Gras where people just dress up just to dress up. So Exotica is a whole experience.
It is a
Come and
vibe.
celebrate whatever it is you're celebrating. divorce, getting married, birthday, whatever.
Whatever it is.
We'll be there. In the meantime, between time, until Exotica, you can follow us on socials. Right there in our little pink boxes. Those pink boxes. So screenshot this. Make it your screensaver on your phone. So you have our pink box information forever. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Back to you, Casey.
All right, y'all.